And just like that, we were decided. Tiger, Dragon, and I led the group to the gym. We made sure to take careful stock of everything in the closet before anyone was allowed to touch anything. Then the group carried the items down to the front office Pig talked about. We piled up all the weapons in the back of that room. An inventory was taken to make sure everything was there and no one had pocketed anything. When all was said and done, we exited the room and Tiger took a seat outside the room. Is this okay, Tiger? Of course, why wouldn't it be? Okay, I just wanted to make sure you were comfortable. I'll be fine. You know, I wonder whose office this is. It says on that sign there, Mrs. Follies. I saw that. I was wondering what position she had in the school. She was the vice principal. It says it on the same sign. It does? Oops. So, what do we do from here? Exactly what we were doing before. Look for minor trinkets. Of course, everyone should be on their guard for anything out of the ordinary, but without weapons it will be difficult for a traitor to do anything too drastic. For the sake of simplicity, whenever someone finds a minor trinket, come back here and give it to Tiger. Tiger can keep track of our trinket count, and when we get the 12th one, she can tell the person to gather everyone so we can leave. Sounds like a plan, team. No, this doesn't feel right. We're lacking in motivation. What's missing? Oh, what about a team chant? Please no, I'm not a fan of music. Not a fan of music? What kind of devil knock are you? Can we dismiss, Teach? Yes, please, leave. You people are impossible. Not a hopeful message, but at least we were all on the same track. I watched the others all walk away, but I stayed behind. I wanted to talk with Tiger for a bit before beginning my search. Mouse, why aren't you going with the others? I'll get to it. I just wanted to make sure everything was fine here. Why wouldn't it be? Well, you know... You're not secretly planning to kill us all, are you? Mouse! I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. No, I'm not going to kill you all, I'm offended. I thought you knew me better than that. Well, I mean, I don't. What? I mean, that's not a slight against you. I mean, we literally just haven't spent that much time together. I don't know you that well. Well, let's fix that. What do you want to know? I mean, I didn't mean that in a literal, factual sense. But while we're here, I guess I am kind of curious. You said you were an Olympian? What's the story on that? Great question. I thought going to the Olympics would be a once-in-a-lifetime incredible experience, so I decided to go. I was already pretty good at throwing stuff, so I decided to train for javelin. And then I got really good at javelin. And then I qualified for the Olympics at javelin. And then I competed in the Olympics at javelin. Okay, I think I get the picture. Didn't medal, which was a shame, but I like to think that even getting there is an honor. Of course it is. But is that all there is to it? There wasn't some grander motivation at play, you just decided, hey, the Olympics are cool, one day? Yep. That's how I make a lot of my decisions. You see, I want to live through 200 once-in-a-lifetime moments, so my life is as meaningful as 200 lives. I still got about 142 moments left. I don't think that's how meaning in life works. And also 200? Wouldn't 100 make more sense? Yeah, you know, it's twice as good a goal. Twice as ambitious, perhaps. Same difference. One of those once-in-a-lifetime moments wouldn't be murdering all of us, would it? I mean, it would be a once-in-a-lifetime moment, to be fair. You kidding? Getting kidnapped like this is already a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and I can't count that and killing you all as separate moments. I mean, you can. That's double jeopardy. That's your reasoning? That's a part of it. Oh. Well, I should get to searching. You do that, I'll get to guarding. You already are. You've got me there. Yep. Yeah. Cool. Right. Okay, bye. Assurances partly made, I left Tiger for the minor trinket search. Having found previous success there, I decided to look on the second floor. Walking down the hallway, I ran into Ox. Oh, Mouse. Ox, you had any success yet? No, but I'm just getting started. Care to help me look around? I'd love to. Where should we look? I was thinking about looking in that office over there. I don't have a better idea, so sure. We walked into the office and began looking for our minor trinkets. Say, Ox, can I ask you a question? I'd prefer if you focused on searching, but if you insist. You actually think this plan is going to work? I mean, if two among us are going to try and sabotage it, couldn't things go really bad? I doubt things will go flawlessly, but that doesn't mean we should stop trying to work together. Yeah, but if one of those two with the weird personalities find a minor trinket before us, they won't tell Tiger and we'll be down a trinket. That's a real fear. But if we're still missing some at round 7 or 8, I think we might have to abandon a few of us. What? It's unlikely the traitors would be able to steal more than 1 or 2, so we'll still mostly get out. And if we rule out anyone who actively gave Tiger a trinket, there are pretty good odds we can exclude a traitor. I don't know, that all sounds pretty sketchy to me. I'm not saying it's a good situation, but Mouse, if you think we can get through this without making some hard choices, I think you're going to wind up being hurt. I'd start steeling yourself for the fallout sooner rather than later. With that, Ox went back to wordlessly searching around the room. What else was there to say? Whether I liked it or not, he was right. Brian's game was inherently cruel. I needed to become cruel with it. Our search bore now results. The office didn't have any clues whatsoever. Well, that was a waste. I feared this might happen. How about we search through the auditorium next? That seems like a place he'd be inclined to make significant somehow. Sure. Actually, first, how much time do we have left in this round? Should we input our actions now? Good idea. I'll go into a separate classroom. You do it here. We'll meet up in the auditorium. Gotcha. Ox left the room to let me use my tablet. Without much thought, I chose to run. Actually, I just thought of something. Wouldn't it be an idea for a traitor to just hide in the classroom and hope someone comes in there and tries to use their trinket? That would be quite interesting. Now wasn't the time to betray the group. That time would be later. What was I saying? I wasn't going to betray the group. I left to meet Ox in the auditorium. Yes, and that was where the safe was. Actually, was that there? Or was that a different place? No, it wasn't this, was it? Entering the room, I realized just how big this place was. This was going to be a pain, wasn't it? You think we'll actually find something in here? If we search this whole place and we don't, it's going to be a real waste of time. The fact that it's so big means that searching it is all the more worthwhile. Not really, but let's get to it. We started by walking up to the stage and looking around behind the curtains and on the walls. For a while it seemed fruitless until Ox called over to me. Hey Mouse, come over here. What is it? Does this look out of place to you? I looked at what he was gesturing to. In the midst of a bunch of papers hung up on random walls that looked to do with scheduling things and procedures, there was a sheet titled Rules to Find Safe. This probably has something to do with the race. I bet the clues lead to a trinket. Okay, let's see what they lead to. There was an ordered list which oddly started at 0. The clues were as follows. 0. The number is odd. 1. The letter's position in the alphabet plus 4 is the number. The number isn't 8 or 11. The letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. The letter isn't a vowel. The number is less than 10. The letter is A, C, or E. The letter's position in the alphabet is a lower number than the number. Oh, I love these. I love these puzzles. They're great. You know, the way these works is for the first combination you put in, everything has to be true. All of these statements, and then you eliminate statements one by one. I think that's how it's going to work here, and it looks like numbers are capped at 1 to 14, and letters are A to F. So for the last combination, only one will remain. And I love these. Yeah, the letter's position in the alphabet is a lower number than the number. Number is prime, and the letter is C. In pen, an arrow was drawn from the top of the list to the bottom. What is this all about? I'm pretty sure it's referring to the front section of the seats. I noticed earlier the front section is divided into rows A through F, and they're numbered from the left going 1 to 14. What's weird about this is why there are so many clues to the location. You only need hint 1 and hint 9. It should be row C, and if it's C's alphabetical position is 3, then it would be column 7. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's get to the safe. We should at least see what this is about. We made our way down the aisles and over to the appropriate seat, and sure enough, hidden below the seat was a miniature safe. Found it. Hold on. Let's not start celebrating until we actually open it. I started to examine the safe and realized that it needed a 4-digit combination to open. As I figured it wouldn't be that easy. But look, there's a note attached to the top of it. What does it say? Following the arrow, choose the numbers who certainly lead to me while all being useful. The hell does that mean? Oh, I see. This is a puzzle. It is? Yes. It has to do with that list of hints we got earlier to the safe. I thought it was weird how superfluous it seems. Now it makes sense. If I had to guess, this note means we need to choose 4 hints from that list, which would lead us to this location perfectly. No guesswork needed. However, all being useful probably means that none of the clues should be superfluous. That is to say, you couldn't remove any of them without being unable to know the location. And follow the arrow probably means that the digits should be input in order from 0 to 9. Wow, how'd you figure it all out? I didn't figure anything out, I just interpreted the rules. Maybe, but you're really good at it. It's not entirely like translating arcane legalese. Plus, I like to visit escape rooms from time to time. That explains it. We should start trying to solve the puzzle. We should. 4 rules that would lead us to C7, huh? What could the answer be? Okay. Well, I need to actually be able to read all of them. Wait. Okay, I'll go through it here. There we go. Okay, so it's not quite the riddle I was used to, but I'll take it. Seems interesting. Okay, we need 4 of these need to be what they are. C7 it was, right? Yes. Okay. Which do we need? I think we're actually taking 6 instead of 9. Maybe though. Well, let's go through them one by one. The number is odd. Could be useful. The letter's position in the alphabet plus 4 is the number. That means the number is odd is useless. If we have this, we just need to find out the letter, and we can find out the letter easily, so this is superfluous. The number isn't 8 or 11, we'll ignore that. The letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. That might be useful. The letter isn't a vowel. The number is less than 10. I mean, we can take the letter isn't a vowel, the letter is A, C, or E, and the letter's position in the alphabet plus 4 is a number. Can we do that? A and E are vowels. So the letter isn't a vowel. The thing is, we need 4, don't we? It's 4, right? 4 rules. But 3 is enough. That's strange. Like we've got the letter's position in the alphabet plus 4 is the number. We've got the letter isn't a vowel, and the letter is A, C, or E. I mean, we could just take the letter as C as well. It's fine. I don't know. I don't get why we need 4 rules. It did say none of them. I'm not sure what exactly it means with none of them. Well, I guess it means you can't just add in a rule there that doesn't tell you any additional information. If we just go the letter C, why do we even need 3? We can go the letter is C and the letter's position in the alphabet. No, the letter's position in the alphabet plus 4 is the number. That's it. Why do we need to do something different? Yeah. That's what Ox said, you only need hint 1 and 9. Oh, that's it. I get it. I need to find 4, and then that's the thing. I need to not be too the clues can't be too useful. If they're too useful, then I can't get 4 because some will be superfluous. If they're not useful enough, then I don't clearly get to C7. with the 4 clues. Okay, I get it. The number is prime. The letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. That leaves only... Well, it still leaves a couple. 8 isn't a prime number, 11 is. Okay, so this will definitely be superfluous. So will this. This one. I'm not going to use those. I like the numbers prime, I kind of want to use that. 7 is superfluous to 3. 7 just tells us letter is lower than the number. 3 tells us letter times 2 is lower than the number, so this is more accurate. The number is odd and the number is prime are both telling me, well, again, it's just same thing, but prime provides me with slightly more information. The question is, do I want that information or not? The number is less than 10. That might be useful. I think we take the letter isn't a vowel and the letter is A, C, or E. I think we'd have to take these two because otherwise it'll be difficult to get to C. Which leaves us with the letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. And the number is prime. That still leaves us with 8 or... No, give me a second. Letter isn't a vowel, letter is A, C, or E. Gives us C. The number isn't 8 or 11 and the number is prime. We have 1 to 14. No, that's not enough. We need to... What if we take the letter is C? And we take... The number is prime. The letter's position in the alphabet. No, the letter's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. We can't eliminate 13 like that. The number is less than 10. The number is prime. How many prime number? Yes. 9, we take 9. We take 5. We take 3. And we take 8. 3, 5, 9, 8. 3, 5, 8, 9. Does that satisfy the conditions? Let us see numbers prime. Numbers less than 10. Prime numbers and let's position in the alphabet times 2 is a lower number than the number. So that means we have 6, which is lower, which only leaves us with 7, 8, 9. And the only prime number out of 7, 8, 9 is 7. Yes. It's 3, 5, 8, 9. And we can't figure... Yes, 3, 5, 8, 9. Yes, yes, yes. But I will save just to make sure of that. But it should be. Well, here goes nothing. You know the answer? Maybe? That's not confidence inspiring. Just let me try. Start to input the code. And the passcode is 3589. This has to be it. I input the code and the safe opened. You did it? Yep. Looks like an escape room king is no match against a puzzle master such as myself. Yeah, whatever. Just see what's inside. I reached inside and grabbed another token. It was a familiar shape. A minor trinket. Great, so this wasn't a waste of time. Thank God, it would have sucked if it was something stupid like a gun or whatever. Should we go bring this to Tiger? That is the plan, yes. Let's get going. The two of us left the auditorium and made our way down the stairs. Just as we started to descend the stairs, I heard 3 gunshots and after a pause, another one. The hell was that? Quickly, get down to where Tiger is. Ox urged me to start running and I was in no position to argue with him. A familiar sense of unease started to rise up in my chest. There was no way this was good. We started going down the hallway to the front entrance when I saw Bunny running towards it from the other side of the hallway. He must have also heard the shots. I rounded the bend and looked at the lobby only to see a horrifying sight. Tiger! Dragon! The two of them were lying limply on the floor. Tiger was on her side near the office with a metal pipe and the sniper rifle lying by her side. Dragon was face down on the other side of the lobby with a bloody lamp right next to her. This was... no. Quickly, checked their statuses. Snake piped up from behind me. When did he get here? Who cared? He was right. I ran forwards and started checking on Tiger. As I got closer, I saw a bit of blood behind the hair on the back of her head. But it wasn't that bad. I had to believe in her. I got down and felt for her pulse. I was so worried I'd be met with an eerie silence, but to my relief I felt something. Just as I confirmed she was alive, I heard her start to softly moan. She was definitely injured, but she wasn't killed or completely out for the count. On the other side of the room, Ox had been checking out Dragon. I looked over to him with hope. What? She's dead. But when he met my eyes, he shook his head. Tiger might have survived, but Dragon wasn't so lucky. The race had seen its first casualty, and I began to feel sick to my stomach. After the discovery, everyone eventually made their way to the scene of the crime. After all, gunshots weren't exactly something you could avoid. It was a huge chaotic mess with people on the verge of tears and shouting at each other. However, cooler minds eventually prevailed. Ox reminded them that this would all be for nothing if the minor trinkets weren't found. And while people weren't happy about it, they realized he had a point. And so with that clearing much up, the majority of the group returned to their search for items in this haunted school. The ones left behind were Ox, Tiger, Snake, Bunny, and myself. For my part, I'd mostly just stood there feeling sick the entire time. Luckily I'd kept myself from vomiting, but the urge was definitely there. Part of it was pathetic. I was supposed to be a criminal defense lawyer and I couldn't even look at a dead body? But having it happen so suddenly, so close to someone you knew, and for the first time? It was just a lot at once. Still, I couldn't just stand there forever. Dragon didn't just die of a heart attack. She was murdered. I did nothing that would mean letting her murderer run free. And that wasn't something I was going to let happen. I stood up from the chair I'd been sitting in and walked over to the group. This was a life or death race. I had to run. Hey Mouse, are you alright? Tiger, this is not what you should be worried about. Tell me what the fuck happened. I'm fine, trust me. If anything, I should be asking you that. Tiger rubbed her eyes and gave a pained smile. A bit after everyone had arrived, Tiger had woken up. I guess she just got hit over the back of the head and she didn't see anyone, probably. Even though I don't see how that would be possible, given she's standing in front of a door to a room that's locked. Or not locked, but not accessible from any other side. So how the hell would someone have gotten behind her? She was in a lot of pain, but it didn't seem like there were any serious injuries. The blow to the head just put her out of commission for a few minutes. You're talking about the hit to the back of my head? I'm fine, I've taken worse than this plenty of times. You have? Stop getting off topic. You're sure you don't know who did it? I'll tell you what I told you 10 dozen times already. I thought there might be a minor trinket hidden in the nurse's office over there, so I walked over to that front desk. I tried looking in to see if there was anything, but it's not like I was abandoning my post. Tiger, that is called abandoning your post. I was standing right there. Anyways, all of a sudden in the corner of my eye, I saw someone moving quickly at me from the hallway. I started to turn towards them, but before I could really make a move, I felt a blow to the back of my head, and that was that. They must have rushed at me with that metal pipe and knocked me out before I could even realize what was happening. I didn't ask for a recap, I asked who did it. If you saw them in the corner of your eye, you had to at least see some part of them. I didn't. Or maybe I did, but I don't remember it. Look, my head's still kind of messed up from that attack, you know? With an attack like that, it's not unreasonable that her memory would be hazy, especially at the point immediately before the hit. Fine, fine. I just want to know who did this. More importantly, what's the damage done? Obviously, besides Dragon. There isn't any. Huh? Tiger still has all the trinkets in her pocket, and even though the sniper was brought out and fired 4 times, all the weapons are present. They fired a sniper rifle 4 times. You don't just shoot sniper rifles 4 times in quick succession. Seriously? What a lucky break. Yes, lucky break, only Dragon died, who cares? Indeed. So, what should we do now? It may be crass, but might I suggest nothing? What? Hear me out. I am perhaps more than anyone deeply wounded by Dragon's passing. She was a deeply spirited woman, and her impact on the group will not go unnoticed. I hope that the full extent of the law can come down on whoever killed her, and I'm certain the police will be able to use forensic evidence to get an idea. However, as much as I'm an idealist, I am equally a pragmatist. We mourn the dead for the living. Avenging her only does her as much good as it does us. And in a literal sense of speaking, this isn't that much of a setback. No trinkets were stolen, nor were weapons. True, Tiger was caught off guard and attacked, but after this I'm sure she'll be on high alert facing the hallway, an unmoving warrior. Perhaps she can even proactively arm herself with a pistol. I see no reason why this horrid assault should disrupt our plans. Hence we should go back to searching for our lifelines, the minor trinkets. I fully agree with you, Snake. Makes sense to me. Hold on. We can't let that happen. We can't? I don't want Tiger guarding the weapons anymore. In fact, I don't entirely feel comfortable with letting her walk free. What? I'll be blunt here. Tiger, I suspect you for the murder of Dragon. I mean, it could be, yes. Well, this is certainly an interesting turn of events. Do go on. Leaving this lobby, there are 4 main routes you could take. After hearing the gunshots, Mouse and I immediately started rushing down the staircase and got to the crime scene fairly quickly. Bunny ran in from that classroom wing. Snake was running down the hallway that the staircase connected to. The last exit is through the commons. However, there are big window doors leading to those commons and it's quite wide open. When I ran down, I briefly checked that direction and didn't see anyone running away. To sum it up, there shouldn't have been anywhere for the criminal to escape. The killer also didn't take any weapons or trinkets, even though they are likely someone affected by Brian's 3rd round rule change. With all that in mind, I think there's a reasonable explanation as to who the killer is. The person who didn't or couldn't leave the scene. That would be Tiger. That's totally ridiculous. You can't seriously be suspecting me. I'm a victim here. I think Ox is talking a lot of sense there. A victim with a very fishy story. I can't imagine someone getting the jump on you like you claim they did. It's entirely possible you faked your injury to divert suspicion. Seriously? Ox, you're suffering from a serious case of victim blaming right now? Nope. You're supposed to be a cop or whatever, right? Prosecutor. Well, then you should know you can't accuse someone without evidence. Well, you can certainly accuse someone without evidence. You can't convict them. And even that is so-so in well, not always upheld. Where's your evidence, huh? If you insist. Ox walked over to Dragon's body. Take a look at that lamp. It's majorly bent and Dragon's skull is practically caved in. That requires a feat of tremendous strength. The only people I think could easily pull this off would be Dragon, the victim, and Horse, who has an alibi in the form of sheep. Shh! Haven't you heard of the power of adrenaline? If a mother can lift a car to save a baby, a murderer can dent a lamp to kill someone. Shouldn't a cop like you know that? Prosecutor. And yes, some extraordinary things can happen, but that's the exception, not the rule. I'll also point out that despite your testimony, Tiger, you were found unconscious on the other side of the lobby. How do you explain that? I don't know. The killer must have moved me for some reason. That still doesn't prove anything. I haven't even shown the most damning thing. He then picked up a form on a clipboard which was sitting on the counter. It appeared to be some sort of sign-out sheets for students. It had a few bloody flecks on it. Handwritten and scrawled letters. Tiger is Kraz. What's that? I believe it was Dragon's last scribbles. After being injured, she hurriedly scribbled a message to us. She wasn't able to finish it, however, because she was finished off by a lamp. No way, that can't be right. Face it, Tiger, the evidence is stacked against you. Clearly someone's trying to frame me. You waste your guys' time. Mouse, you believe me, right? Well... no. Not really. I'm sorry, Tiger, but I think we need to investigate and see if you're really the criminal. You don't trust me? I want to, but Ox has brought up good points. Fine, do whatever you want. I just hope the others can pick up the slack and find the trinkets while you four waste your time. Very good. Things were settled. While the others looked for minor trinkets, we'd investigate Dragon's murder. We all briefly went into separate rooms to input our actions for the next round, and then we returned to work. Don't try anything funny, Tiger. You're strong, but I've confiscated the sniper rifle and there's 4 of us. I'm not going to do anything. Ah, investigating a crime scene. It's never a fun time. Do you do this often? I guess you would, being a police officer and all. Yeah. So, as a cop, what do you think? I think I need to see more. But there are a few oddities in the scene that make me think Ox is being a little hasty. Let's try and look for anything that stands out of place if Tiger was the killer and see what we can make of it. So, where to check first? Tiger's injury. I think that's the most interesting part. And then the scribbled note, also very interesting. I want to check out Tiger's head injury some more. Shouldn't looking into that prove whether or not she made the whole thing up? I don't know about that. It is worth looking into though. Looking at the bits of blood on the end of that metal pipe, it's clear what the weapon was. Hey Tiger, would you mind if we look at your injury a little closer? Sure thing. Tiger sat on the floor as Bunny started inspecting her head through her head. What? Through her hair, I guess it should say. I see. Well, if I can say one thing for sure, she didn't inflict this wound on herself. This was a hit to the left back side of her head from a horizontal blunt strike with a whole amount of force. And I don't know how you self-inflict that. Could you maybe hold it behind your head and try to swing? I don't think you get how much force I'm talking about here. It's possible she could have been concussed or even killed from something like this. It's literally impossible to get that sort of momentum by just moving your wrists and part of your arms. And it's only a single strike. So that's it, she's proven innocent with this, right? I don't know about that. After all, even if she was hit, that doesn't necessarily mean she couldn't have gone on to kill Dragon and then faked being knocked out by it. Oops. However, it certainly makes it a lot less likely. A blow like this would absolutely send even someone like Tiger to her knees for quite a bit of time. Someone striking like this, that's someone who's not afraid to kill. I guess it's just tricky for me to see a scenario where Tiger gets hit with this and somehow gets the upper hand. She'd be brought down, and even if she wasn't unconscious, she wouldn't exactly be in any fighting shape. She was found lying by the left table, right? Yeah, the iron pipe and the sniper rifle were both lying nearby her. Say, what's that? Was that a pen gorged into the wooden table? I think you're right. The pen's just stuck in there, sticking out. Who would do something like that? Who knows? Doubt it has much to do with anything, though. I guess. Alright, scribbled note. The most damning piece of evidence against Tiger would have to be that note, right? Then we should probably focus on it a bit, don't you think? Makes sense to me. Let's take a look at this thing. I walked over to the counter where the note was written. Indeed, it was easy to see how Dragon could quickly start scribbling on that sheet of paper with the provided pen in a moment of desperation. But is that what happened? Let's go over the details of this note. Maybe that can help source its authenticity. Yeah, this was a critical point. If the note was forged, Tiger was definitely being framed. If the note was real, Tiger was almost certainly the killer. Those were the only options. Unfortunately, we don't have a sample of Dragon's handwriting to compare this to. If we did, well, that would make our job a lot easier. However, the jagged writing and messy nature of it does suggest it was written quite quickly in a fit of panic. The unfinished Z in particular is very convincingly done. And while we're talking about the Z, the fact that it was unfinished does imply she was struck down while writing this. As do the pattern of blood flecks. They're not in the middle of the paper, more splayed a bit to the sides. This is in line with where they generally fall if they came from a blow directly to the top back of the head right in front of it. The angle of the flecks too, that's hard to fake. I'll go on the record and say that the blood at least authentically came from an attack happening right near this sheet of paper. But that's not to say the writing's legit. That could have been forged, hell it could have been written after the blood got onto page. Wow, that was certainly a detailed analysis. This stuff's pretty standard for a crime scene investigation. Anyways, I think the existence of this note is the biggest mark against it. What do you mean? I mean people aren't stupid. Do you think Tiger really wouldn't notice this written down like that? And if she did notice it, do you really think she'd just leave incriminating evidence like that lying around? No, she'd have thrashed it immediately. Convincing as the writing may be, I've got to say that the whole thing's probably a scam. Probably. Okay. I made a note of everything Bunny said and continued onwards.